What's good, YouTube? The Black Hokage here, aka TBH, and to be honest, I just got back from the land of Letterman jackets, the do-rags, the grape swishes, the Tims, the rats, the roaches. Some of you know it as Bodega Land, and some of you know it as New York. Now, why was I there? Ubisoft was holding an event for The Division, and while I was there, I got to conduct an interview with the creative director of The Division. Fellow YouTuber Mr. Matty Plays was there, and he had some questions as well, so we decided to do a collaboration interview, and we managed to get some answers on some of the hard questions that I know you guys have. But before we get into that interview, do me a favor, check out his channel at youtube.com/Mr. Matty Plays. Subscribe, show him some love, leave some comments on his videos, and tell him the Coon Army has invaded his channel. Enjoy the interview.
I'll erase you here.
TBH here on behalf of GameIlluminaughty.com, and I am here with Julian, one of the developers on The Division, and I'm here with Matty from Matty Plays, and we are doing a special collaboration interview for The Division. How you doing today, my brother?
Pretty good.
Awesome. And what about you?
Doing well.
Doing well. Awesome. So the first thing that I wanted to ask you about The Division, after going a little bit more hands-on with the game, is the core mechanics. I'm a little bit concerned about them.
Don't be concerned.
I've
I've been doing this for a while. Don't be concerned.
I'm gonna get you. So one of the first concerns I had with this game is I was under the impression that this game was more of a third-person shooter with RPG elements, but from playing the beta, it feels more like an RPG with shooter elements in it. And I say that because a lot of times I would encounter enemies and I would shoot, the guns, it made sense because certain levels, but a lot of times I would shoot like a rocket or a grenade at them, and they wouldn't die simply because they were a level above me. And they would have like plenty of health after that. So I wanted to ask, what was kind of the design choice behind that? Because, for the average person who's not in the know, who doesn't watch videos like this, they go to GameStop or something, they just want, I want The Division. They might not know that this is more of an RPG. Could you explain why you made that design choice?
I think the whole vision there was to have something that had a very long tail of an experience. So, it's at its heart, this is a cover-based shooter. Absolutely, 100%. Is it realistic, one shot, one kill? No, but no game really is. And we wanted to give it that sort of edge where when you collaborate, when you're working as a team, you can get rid of enemies really quick. There's one guy who just posted a video on the beta test, and he's max level for the beta test, got great weapons, and he's going through Madison Square Garden like an assassin. Almost one shot, one kill. So it's possible. It's just, when you start off the game, you're level 4, level 5, going into Madison, which is a level higher than you. Yeah, it can be punishing. So, and that's the design of the game. That's absolutely what we wanted.
I have a couple of questions from gamers who have gone through the beta
themselves. Are you concerned as well, or are you pretty happy about things?
I'm happy, but just questions that I feel need to be answered. So at Cowboy501 asks if there's going to be enough endgame content to keep us going until new game updates as well as DLC.
That's a really good question, because obviously RPG like this, endgame content is what hooks you into these long gaming sessions and keeps you playing for not only weeks but months and months.
Correct.
And we designed the game so that when you finish the campaign, when you wrap up the story, you still haven't upgraded your base of operations 100%. So there's a lot of gaming to push that to its max thing, and you have all of the upgrades, all of the equipment, all of the choices to spec your character exactly how you want. Plus we have some missions that you can replay on hard, on challenge mode. Those are much harder. So challenge mode, definitely need a team for those. On top of that, you've got all of the collectibles, the story, the little things that you find in the world that'll fill in the blanks of what actually happened in New York during the collapse. And then you've got the Dark Zone, which is infinitely replayable, and you're always going to be wanting to get that better loot, that better gun, that better gear, and that's really the engine there. And don't forget, we're going to support the game with free updates after launch. This is a free updates. I'll say it again. This is a online game. This is a real investment from the dev team. It's a real investment from players.
Will every single update be free?
Not every single one. There's some more traditional DLC too, but even the traditional DLC, there's bound to be stuff that's going to be for free that will modify the experience. We're going to keep on improving the game, for sure.
Since you brought up the free DLC, might as well get into it. In the original E3 2013 trailer, you guys are showing gameplay that took place in Brooklyn, but the game takes place in Manhattan. You're talking about free DLC. Is that Brooklyn part of the game going to be DLC? And if so, why did you choose to cut it from the full game?
Brooklyn's not going to be a DLC.
How about this? A lot of people have always wanted to share gear in the division, and so at Priceless OMGS, if there's going to be any sort of player trading plan to be implemented into the game at some point.
It's a great question. I mean, anybody who plays this kind of game, trading is a big part of it. It's something that we're still investigating. A lot of people on the team really want it, so I wouldn't rule it out fairly soon after launch.
So it seems like an idea for the team. Just
Absolutely.
It's a matter of when.
Yeah. It's a matter of when, and we don't want to ruin the economy as it stands today. You know, the equipment that you've earned and found, okay, what happens if we open up that sort of economy to everybody, that you can just trade everything? It's a great idea on paper, and we really like it, and we really want it, but we don't want to break the experience.
Okay, so what do you say to the people who are interested in the late game? Because I understand you're getting better loot, better guns, better armor. But let's say you max out at the end of the game. Like, what is there to do after you max out? Is there any more content coming? Not as far as DLC, but like let's say the dead zone. Like, what else is there to do in the dead zone? Are there other type of mission structures? Like, because it just kind of seems like, oh, I'm attacking another agent and I'm taking his loot, then I'm going to drop it off. Are there going to be any type of mission types in the dead zone that differentiate from the core?
Did you have many encounters in the dead zone where you faced off against enemies?
Yeah, I've had many encounters, but I feel like, does it get any deeper than that?
Yes, and every band of the Dark Zone, keep in mind that you're basing this off a very limited selection of activities that you played here today. Every band of the Dark Zone has different sort of challenges, enemies to beat, and you'll be match made against higher level agents. And when you reach max level, you'll only be match made against level 30 agents too. So it becomes that much more dangerous and that much more rewarding to go into the.
That was one of my concerns. So you're basically saying that it is going to be balanced. A level 3 will not be matched up against a level 20 in the Dark Zone.
That's right.
Awesome to hear.
Absolutely. Talking about the Dark Zone and just content in general, Republican Goo wants to know if all the content is going to be accessible in-game alone, or if you're going to be able to only access certain parts of the game with a squad.
No, it's another good question. I think the entire game you can access by yourself as a single player. This said, when I was talking about challenge mode, I have yet to see somebody complete a challenge mode mission by themselves.
All right.
So you may be able to access it, and I'm sure there are millions of better players than me out there, but I've yet to see somebody finish one of those by themselves.
Okay.
It's a little bit like finishing a raid by yourself. It's going to be super tough. It's possible, but it's not. Mere mortals may not be able to do it.
Okay, and one of the concerns that I had coming out of the beta.
Another concern.
Man,
you got to relax. This is just the video game.
No. Somebody's got to ask these questions. It's
Well, go for it.
So the AI, playing the beta, then playing this build, I really didn't see much difference as far as the AI goes. Even my friends, we played it on hard in the beta, and it kind of seems like the AI will just hop over a counter, charge you with a baseball bat, or just charge you with their guns. They don't seem like they're the brightest. In the full game, will we seeing AI, moving to cover, working with one another? Because I didn't really get that vibe from playing the beta.
Absolutely.
They felt like bullet sponges, basically.
So there's you played basically against one faction here, the Rioters. This is the lowest level faction in the game. There are other factions, the Rikers, the Cleaners. Did you face off against any flamethrower guys? Yeah, you did?
Yeah, I did.
All right. And there are a couple of other enemies that are even harder challenges, and they use even better tactics.
So you mentioned raids earlier, and it kind of reminded me of Destiny. So I kind of had to ask, as I don't want to say necessarily a direct competitor, but you guys are kind of against them in the sense of taking on this online shooting genre and playing with your friends all the time. How do you feel you kind of differentiate your game from Destiny in the sense of taking them over? And
I can't really speak for Destiny, but I can say that, when I think of The Division, this is a open world. It's co-op enabled. Every single mission is co-op. It's a realistic contemporary setting. It's a virus-ridden New York, a recreation that's almost one-to-one of the city. It's a very different proposition. There's a lot of story elements. There's a lot of stuff that you can discover. Lots of environmental storytelling. I mean, it's its own thing.
And this is for the PC gamers out there. One thing that I really like about the devs that are working on Rainbow Six Siege, and they really took the time to take care of the PC community. There was a lot of hackers in that game, and they've gotten rid of them like that. Is that something you guys are going to be doing in the Division? Because even in the beta, because I play on PC, even on the beta, there was an invisibility hack, unlimited ammo, unlimited health, and it's kind of deterring to have to deal with that already in the beta. Is that something you guys are going to be addressing on the frequent?
Absolutely. I mean, the way I look at it is that those things are meant to be ironed out in a beta. That's when they're supposed to happen. That's when you're supposed to correct them and react to them and check how your pipeline to react to those things happens. So for me, we're already on those issues. We know how to deal with them.
So this is more of a standard question, but a lot of gamers kind of want to know how much time they're going to be putting into the Division, because it's, it's an online game. Sometimes these online games use the structure of, repetitive missions and constantly just loading them. How much time could gamers expect to put into the Division?
It's a big game. I mean, I can't really put an hour limit on it, but the campaign, there's a meaty campaign, 3 story threads that converge together. There's the dark zone, so we're looking at a significant number of hours.
And one last question when it comes to the Division: is this game coming to the Wii U?
No, it isn't. Sorry.
Damn. Get it together, Nintendo.